Happy Monday. I'm Tristan Winder here in the News 2 Alert Center with the Morning Pulse here on this April 6th, 2026. Police across the state are warning about a scam that circulated yesterday, a fake state of the Nebraska court document claiming that you owe money for traffic violations, directing you to pay using a QR code. The notice appears official and includes immediate and intimidating language, including threats for license suspension, court enforcement, and credit impacts as well to pressure people into paying immediately. Law enforcement stresses if you receive something like this, do not scan the QR code or share personal or financial information. And a reminder that road work begins today on a section of Interstate 80 in Lincoln County. The construction is from Lincoln County line to just east of the Sutherland Reservoir, south of Sutherland. A 12-foot width restriction is in effect, and there will be a lane closure as well. Work is anticipated to be concluded by sometime this summer. A recent study from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln found a decline in groundwater levels year over year, as 90% of the state sits over the Ogallala Aquifer. Nearly 5,000 wells were measured in the spring of 2024 and 2025 to monitor changes in groundwater levels across Nebraska. 62% reported a decline, and that was the largest in the Nebraska Panhandle as well, where one well dropped just 10 feet.
Beginning about 2020 through early last year, most of Nebraska was in some form of drought for most of that 5-year period. And in Nebraska, groundwater levels are very closely tied to precipitation.
And a federal program aimed at supporting the next generation of farmers is coming to a conclusion. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has terminated an increasing land access program. The latest cut in a multiple USDA programs that have been ended over the past year.
Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Monday morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was a great day of weather yesterday afternoon, a wonderful Easter weekend. A little windy, of course, on Saturday, but Sunday, just fantastic. Enjoyed some outdoor time with some family yesterday. And I tell you what, maybe not quite that nice as we head into the day today here. We've had a cold front come through that's currently situated off to our southwest. If I were to draw it in, it would be about right here. Oh, finger bump there, but you get the idea, the general idea, that frontal boundary about right there. We've got some pretty noticeable north and then northeasterly winds behind that front. They're pretty breezy right behind the front, kind of right here. They're not as strong farther to the north and east here. They'll pick up, though, as the day goes on. The other thing I'll mention, though, we got some returns on radar over north central to east central Nebraska. Nothing that I can tell is actually making it to the ground right now, so I don't think we're going to see much this morning. But as the day goes on, and we'll play this out here, you'll see one, increasing cloud cover and increasing wind speeds. Those two things right there. The increasing cloud cover from the west here. So if you're looking for more sun, the farther southwest you go, the more sun you're going to see. Those winds, again, pretty strong winds right in there today. I think some of the strongest winds could be over eastern or western Nebraska, right in here. Excuse me. That's where I expect some of the strongest winds for today. Now, overnight tonight, another chance of some moisture, and I would really be watching, again, these areas right in here for the best chance of moisture, and it's likely that we would see better chances the farther southeast you go. Lower chances in this area here, not zero, but lower. So notice how Futurecast is really targeting east central Nebraska. There still could be some right in here, but again, I think your higher amounts will end up being closer to Fremont and Omaha. So if you have plans late night or even tomorrow morning, you're traveling east towards Fremont, Omaha, those areas there, maybe you're heading up Highway 30 or you're heading up I-80 from Lincoln to Omaha, it's this area right in here. I look for some accumulating snowfall. There will be some very minor stuff right in here. The light rain that will switch to snow as it gets colder tonight. Winds are still pretty breezy tomorrow. The winds are still going to be pretty noticeable. And in fact, they're going to switch to more southerly as the day goes on tomorrow. Eventually some clearing skies in the afternoon. We should start to warm up a little bit, especially to the south, as a warm front lifts northward, and then a milder night tomorrow night into Wednesday morning thanks to continued breezy winds. And then heading into our Wednesday, it's going to be one of our warmer days this week. It's still going to be pretty breezy, if not windy out there. And then late Wednesday, we are going to talk about a chance of rain and thunderstorms. But first, before we even get into that, I want to talk snowfall here. So we're going to talk about snow, and this is one forecast model. Models are not all completely in agreement on the snow for tonight here, so I'm kind of picking the one I agree with the most. And this is, again, kind of showing you that 1 to 3 inch type snow in a narrow band there, with the higher amounts likely towards that Fremont, Omaha area, and then east from there. Some models are heavier than this, others are lighter than this, so I'm kind of picking the middle ground one right now. But again, this is going to be pretty minimal for those that are closer to the Tri-Cities and westward and southward from there. Lincoln's going to be on the edge of this. Columbus, Albion, O'Neill. O'Neill could end up getting a little bit more. We'll see. But again, especially watching the east central Nebraska area. All right, now let's jump ahead to Wednesday, as we have later in the day, Wednesday and Wednesday night, maybe some thunder showers. And in fact, the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting far southern Nebraska and northern Kansas with a marginal risk of severe storms. Main threat does look to be large hail with that threat. All right, on to our temperatures for today. High temperatures getting up into the 60s, or sorry, 40s, 50s, some 60s in the far south and the southwest. So you can definitely see the influence of that cold front coming through here, a little bit milder off to our southwest compared to everywhere else. Going to be a chillier night tonight than we're seeing this morning, down into the 20s and lower 30s for overnight lows. A lot of mid and upper 20s, some low 30s out there. Tomorrow's temperatures, that front starts to reverse course and lift north as a warm front, so it will warm up in the south again. 60s here, some maybe near 70, but then 50s and maybe still only 40s in the far northeast, especially if there's snow on the ground here. That could hold back those temperatures in those spots. Heading into tomorrow night, Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning, with a breezy southerly wind, warmer air mass now in place. It's going to be a much milder night, upper 30s, 40s, and lower 50s for overnight lows. Jumping ahead to Wednesday, this is probably going to be one of the warmer days this work week. Highs into the 60s, some 70s out there, especially in the south and southwest. And again, as we get towards the end of the day, we'll be watching for that chance of thunderstorms in here. We're going to talk about that as we look at some of the long-range models in just a bit. And then down the road here, Wednesday night into Thursday, some cooler air starting to come in from the northwest. So 30s here, still some 40s to near 50 farther southeast. And then looking at Thursday, a little cooler, high temperatures, upper 40s. This is kind of similar to, kind of anyway, to Tuesday in a way. Upper 40s, 50s up north, and then 60s and low 70s farther to the south. Before we get into let's go to the extended forecast first, actually. We're going to look at that 7-day forecast, starting with the next 3 days first. And again, minor moisture tonight. I'm not too concerned about it for the Tri-Cities. Temperatures inching up as we head towards the middle of the week. Almost every day is going to be breezy, if not windy. I'll tell you that right now. Late Wednesday into Wednesday night, chance of rain. Thunderstorms can't be ruled out. And then this gets us into a more active weather pattern. Several more off and on chances for rain, and eventually maybe more thunderstorms. Now, as we cool off at the end of the week, maybe not as much instability, but then as a warm front lifts north on Friday night into Saturday, maybe more thunderstorm activity. Saturday may be one of our best chances of rain and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye on that thunderstorm and severe weather threat to see if that maybe impacts our area, and we'll keep chances going into Sunday as well. Beyond that, Monday still mild, but then temperatures do start to drop off a little bit here by next Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's take a look at that long-range forecast for North Platte real quick. And again, kind of like the Tri-Cities, snow chance pretty minor tonight. I'm not worried about it at all. As we look towards Wednesday, late day into Wednesday evening, thunderstorms popping up. Chance of some strong thunderstorms can't be ruled out. And then down the road, more rain, showers as we cool back towards the end of the week, and then maybe rain and thunderstorms towards Saturday and Saturday night. Maybe more opportunities for rain down the road beyond that on Sunday. And temperatures looking to be pretty mild Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then they'll come back down a little bit Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, looking at next week, the Climate Prediction Center right now does keep our temperatures a little bit above average for the most part. And they do keep us in that above average precipitation category too. So there's hope that even if you don't get much this week, that may be something that's still possible into next week. But I'm hoping that this week is the week here. A couple of long-range models. Now, this one's a little short-term model. This is the North American model. The one goes out a little over 3 days. It goes out just a little bit over 72 hours. So, again, there's tonight's snow. Again, really watching those northeastern areas the most. While there might be something farther southwest, it's those northern and eastern areas with the best chance. Moves on out. And then our focus turns to Wednesday, especially late Wednesday and Wednesday night for a chance of rain and thunderstorms. There could be a little bit of strong to severe thunderstorm activity across southern Nebraska and northern Kansas. Now let's go to the European forecast model, the ECMWF. And again, we're looking at tonight's moisture here, again, especially aimed towards northeast and east central Nebraska, but there might be a little activity farther south and west. It's just going to be a little more minimal. compared to farther east and northeast there. Then we jump ahead to Wednesday, especially late Wednesday and Wednesday night. And then from there on, we have got numerous off and on chances of rain. Maybe eventually there's Saturday, later in the day into Saturday night, maybe thunderstorms too. As you can see, there's more of a southerly wind now there by Saturday into Saturday night. That's hopefully going to bring more moisture northward into our area. And there are more opportunities for moisture down the road into next week as well. So we're not done yet. Hopefully that means more moisture in our future. Here's the GFS model. Again, looking at tonight right here. Again, especially aimed for northeast, east central Nebraska. Mostly snow. That's where your best chances are going to be. Looks like even a bigger deal off to the east in Iowa and northern Missouri. Then we look ahead to nothing big tomorrow or even Wednesday morning, but Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night right there. There's that shower thunderstorm chance right there. More off and on chances through the end of the week. In fact, the GFS is maybe a little more aggressive than the European model. Let's go ahead to Saturday morning. Now, we've got a warm front lifting north into our area. Now, Saturday into Saturday night, now the GFS model is really aiming towards southeast Nebraska with this thunderstorm opportunity down the road here. So it's something we'll watch for. Again, there are some differences in timing, placement, things like that. Hopefully there'll be more moisture chances in our future, even into next week as well. So several opportunities. We're going to quick buzz through the national views of the European and GFS models here. And again, I don't want to spend a lot of time, but you can see the Gulf moisture starting to make its return, work its way northward into our area here. We are in, by next, or let's back it up a little bit here. By this weekend, Saturday, we are in definite southwest flow. We talked about this. If you watched last week, I talked about this. Right there. That's our jet stream, roughly in there. There's a northern jet stream way up there too, but so that kind of gives you an idea anyway. But again, that usually means Gulf of Mexico moisture coming northward, meeting the, so it'll be interesting to watch here. Oh, let's back up. I didn't even show you it all. So let's continue through the European model. And again, more opportunities for moisture, maybe even into next week here. So if we can keep bringing this Gulf moisture north into our area, that would be wonderful. Let's take a look at the GFS. And you can see there are going to be several opportunities for moisture through the end of the week. And hopefully this will continue right into next week as well, with more chances for rain and maybe thunderstorms out there as well. Finally, let's wrap things up with the temperature trends. Again, we're kind of cool today. We warm up a little bit by Wednesday. Coming back down at the end of the week towards Thursday and especially Friday. Then as we head towards the weekend and the next week, we are going to see some warmer air build in a little bit here. So it does look like we'll trend back on the warmer side of things this weekend, and that looks to hopefully continue into next week. We'll see how things play out in that long term. So Climate Prediction Center, they have us above average. Looking at this map here, it looks like mostly above average heading into next week. So with that, that's about everything I have for you for today. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I will be back with you on Tuesday with all the latest. Take care, and God bless. Bye.